So hi everyone, I'm Jamie Grell, the host of the Top Floor CEO podcast. We've got a very special guest today. We've got Sergey Malygin from Solar.Auto. Now, Sergey's had an amazing story he's going to share with you today, and there's lots you can learn from him. So firstly, he's successfully transitioned from one industry to the other. And also what he's doing now at Solar.Auto, he's transforming the automotive industry using AI and software engineering. So we're going to start firstly. So Sergey, so welcome to the podcast. Delighted to have you with us.
Hi, Jamie. My pleasure. Great to be here.
So just firstly, just start. I want you to go back to maybe the early days. That's relevant for people listening to look at your story. Just tell me firstly, why did you get into this particular area of expertise?
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting story to tell. And I started a long time ago. And when I describe my experience, I say that it's two big parts. One big part is telecom, and then another big part is automotive. In telecom, I started early and I launched a mobile voice operator. I started and deployed a new product for smart traffic management within the network operator. And it was all really great. But then after 10 years, I've got an interesting proposal. Hey, can you help me to make an electric vehicle? And can you help me with operating system for that vehicle? That's how it sounded in the very beginning. I said, well, it sounds really interesting. I've never did that before, but never done this before. And yeah, let's do it. Why not? That's how I ended up in automotive, and that's the domain I want to stay. I love it here. And that's where I worked for the company called Arrival for many, many years, 9 years in total. Started with a small team, and very soon from that, I realized that it's not just about one operating system, it's all about the entire ecosystem of different components and system working together as a whole vehicle. And in my uh, ending part of being with Arrival, it was 750 people in total. We were looking after all the different systems. We created the ecosystem of different building blocks, hardware and software, for which Arrival could make different types of vehicles, vans, buses, passenger cars. So it was a huge, nice journey so far. Then in parallel to that, there was another project called RoboRace, where we launched a vehicle which could run autonomously at a racing track at a high speed. So fully driverless, 11 months. It took us just 11 months to make it. It was a racing car running in Marrakesh within Formula E environment, concrete barriers, and all of that with the speed of 200 kph.
Wow.
For like 12 flying laps, fully autonomous, nobody inside. So in a nutshell, that's my story. What is unique about it is that I saw so many things in telecom prior to joining automotive. When I switched to automotive, I started to see that I actually took the time machine to go back in time, and now the same things are happening in a different industry.
So what things that you learned in telecoms could you transfer to automotive?
Look, in automotive, so many things are happening now around software-defined vehicles. And in 2014, when I just started in automotive, I started to actually create an electric vehicle based on software-defined vehicle approach from the very beginning, because I simply didn't think that it can be different. But in automotive at that point of time, it was absolutely nowhere close. It was so different. So when I was in telecom, I witnessed this transformation. We all remember Nokia, and we all remember what happened in 2007 when Apple iPhone 3G was introduced. Then 2008, Android was introduced by Google. 2011, where is Nokia? Nokia lost all their positions. So it took just 4 years for software-defined and software-oriented players to take the leadership position on the market. And the same thing is happening in automotive. Okay, it may take a little bit longer, not 4 years, it can be 5, 10 years, but this is happening. And we're right in the beginning of this journey. And some of the companies are ahead of time, like Tesla and some Chinese examples. Some of the companies are still trying to catch up. But it's happening. This is the moment when it's happening. And what is great for me is that I know exactly what is going to happen. And with Soda.auto being focused on software-defined vehicles, we know exactly how to help many, many companies within this transformation.
So do you supply to people that make cars? Is that who you supply your services to?
So yes, our product is the unique method, which is not a theoretical SDV, not a theoretical software-defined vehicle approach, but a very practical framework. So what we do, we provide the ready-to-use library of software, as well as single tool, which can substitute 15 different tools which were previously used, with a unique method which can help any OEM organization, any automaker, to create their vehicle with software-defined approach in mind, at least 2 times quicker and 4 times less cost. That's our promise. That's what we confirmed throughout our current customer base, and that's what we do.
How do you do that, Sergey?
Very good question. So look, it's actually quite simple. If you want to make things faster, you need to change the mode you're doing that, change the way you're doing that. So one tool, a lot of automation, which reduce amount of integrations you need to have, reduce amount of different systems you need to just put together, and apply automation process inside. Then you reuse the existing building blocks. You don't have to develop them from scratch. It's the second pillar of that. And third is that you apply AI, because when I founded the company last year, it became so clear to me. I had a big meeting with my team and I said, look, guys, actually starting a company 2023 and doing anything without AI is a crime. I mean, it just no sense. We need to apply AI in every aspect of what we do. It includes our tools, it includes our processes, so the way how we operate internally as the company, as the business. And of course, it includes the software and the way how we deploy the software to our customers. So a big pillar of what Soda is today is AI, artificial intelligence, and we deploy it in every part of our tool chain. So I'll give you one example. In a traditional process, what you do, you start with your requirements, you define them manually, looking into the regulations, following functional safety, cybersecurity regulations as well. So you spend a lot of time just making your requirements. Then what you do, you make the implementation, then you make the testing happening. Then what you do, you write your tests. You are basically taking the requirements and you make another lines of text which represent the test you're going to perform. And then what you do, you convert this tests into the executable test, something which you can really run and check if it's working or not. So what we do, we use AI to help us in all of that. So with requirements, we take the regulations and we make the requirements in automated mode. So it's just 15 minutes to review. Then we make tests automatically from the requirements with the same kind of pattern. You just spend 15 minutes to review rather than a few days to make your testing program ready. And then you automate the execution. All of that can be done in just minutes compared to days and months.
Wow. So the AI is just cut the time dramatically. That's kind of what it's done.
Absolutely. So the way we position ourselves and the philosophy and the vision behind everything in Soda is 3 main pillars. SDV, software-defined vehicles, yes, it's a must. Then digital twin, another concept which we follow everywhere, and AI. By fusion all of this, fusion of all of these 3 technologies together, we achieve ultimate levels of automation and efficiency.
So you talked about the AI makes it takes less time. Will it also do things, or you're not at that stage yet, which humans can't on evolving the technology?
Could you say again, please?
So you mentioned that what the AA does is speed up
Yeah.
the evolution. So it can do what humans do, but quicker. But can it do yet what humans can't do yet? Are we not there yet?
Well, I would say it's a good question. AI can help in some things which human either can't do or don't want to be doing, or it's not even a human limitation, but the technical limitation. One example is negative tests. When you work with vehicles, the last thing you want to be doing is to make like too many crash tests or to make too many negative tests where everything is not working and you just, spend money and waste your money on more and more and more prototypes. So what we do inside of our system is we inject the faults and we make this negative testing with the help of AI a lot, which can actually try to think of all negative cases for us. And we test all of that in a virtual environment, in a digital environment first, so we don't have to repeat this test in full scope in real life. So it's not exactly what you mentioned, but that's one of the examples where AI is so beneficial. In terms of human limitations, well, I can say that when AI gives us some output, sometimes we're quite surprised with few bits, which, well, I didn't think about it. So it's a different perspective. So it's just, extra input of information. Still, as we said, human review is important, but AI can suggest the things which you would not normally consider. And when it comes to safety and security, that is a real value to be added into the process.
How safe is driverless cars?
Driverless cars. Well, it's an interesting question. I would say the technology is there. I would say that if we look at all bits of technology which is available, it can be safe enough. The only bit which is missing a little bit is the final integration and also the ability to test and validate it in all real use cases across the globe. Because when you take a human, I can drive in the UK, I can go to Asia and try to drive there, which is becoming a little bit more challenging, but still doable. And the same with AI, you need to train it with so many different conditions. With the level of technology we see today, it becomes possible because you even can have a synthetic environment to train it before you go to real life again. Integrating it together, it's already there. We see many companies who are quite good with that, and I like the example of Wave in the UK. They're really doing great, and they're this next generation of company. We see the latest levels of innovation achieved by OpenAI and the smartness which AI can get to. My favorite example here is when you ask AI to do something and you ask it in December and you ask it in November, and then surprisingly in December you get a different result. Why? Because AI learned that actually in December you can be slower because you're preparing to Christmas. So it learned not just the informational bits from its data set, but it learned human behavior. So when you see how AI can learn from such elements, you say, wow. And that's how smart actually AI is today. So all of that coming together is here. So it's with us. The biggest thing for AI in terms of the safety is more testing on real roads and ability to validate it in real life environment. And if we take China, for example, they accept the risks, so they do testing just on public streets and roads, which is not the approach I'm proposing here, but I'm saying that when you can allow this of course helps to take the technology quicker to the level where it can work in real life. So the missing bit is not the technology today. The missing bit is social effects, is the regulations and legislation, and just the public perception of the technology as well.
Okay, so just to talk about the type of businesses that you help, just describe what they do and areas that you can help them.
So look, as I was saying, in Soda, we have a practical solution for anybody who wants to make a vehicle, who wants to make an autonomous driven vehicle.
Any vehicle, not just cars. Is it any type of vehicle? Is that
It
bikes?
can be any vehicle, it can be a van, it can be a bus. So actually, we are not limited to automotive purely as well. So it can be robotic environments, so it can be vehicle in a wider scope. So it can be agriculture, it can be marine. So our tool chain, our approach, and the library of reusable assets actually is equally great for all of this application. So anybody who's making a vehicle in a wider way of thinking about drone as well, aerospace is covered, and wants to get it faster to the point where they have something really working, take the tools, take the hardware, take the software, and integrate it very quickly, is and at a very good price level as well. We offer very competitive prices. That's our very natural customers.
Okay, so basically, you're looking for someone that is developing a vehicle. They want to make the process quicker, and also, is there particular features you can add? Like you said about driverless, you can add that. Is there anything else that you can add that will make it, unique and something they can't do themselves?
Well, yeah, it's a good point. So let me describe this a little bit. So it covers all of that. It covers very basic functions. So every car, every vehicle needs to be able to just to drive, to steer, to charge. Then you need to have like seat belts, lights, wipers, all of this, very basic things. We have all of them. Then on top of that, we have quite advanced things such as torque vectoring and advanced traction control. So you can do the things like tank turn. This is actually one of the interesting examples we achieved with one of the customers. So we made the car spinning with 4 motors configuration, each motor per wheel. And what is quite remarkable is that with our approach, we achieved that in just 7 days. So we made a very complex thing, which very big brands practiced for many months before they could demonstrate it in public. We made it in just 7 days. That's one of the examples. Another example is AI climate control. Think about your vehicle experience. You get into the car, it's a hot day around. First thing you do, you turn on your AC, right? Your climate control. But then you need to calibrate it. You need to make sure it's good for you. And then finally, it's still not blowing right for you. Imagine a different use case. You have your smartwatch and the car actually knows if you're hot, if you're running, or it's just hot and warm outside. And then before you get to the car, it is prepared for you. So it knows your temperature, it knows the outside temperature, and it knows the temperature inside of the car. So it can prepare your car to give you a perfect mode for your climate control to be exactly right to these parameters. That's what we deliver as one of our features, and this is what is pretty unique, and we can offer it with pleasure to our customers.
Excellent. Okay, so can you talk about some projects that you're working on?
So look, with the projects we're working on right now, we are looking forward with the progress and innovation in the entire automotive domain. So right now, we already automated the software documentation process. So what we did, we applied AI to create documents for us. So we don't spend time on that, we just review. And at the same time, we are planning to extend it to use AI to actually make software for us. So it sounds scary, but that's why we keep a human in the loop as well. So we review everything AI suggests to us. But imagine the process where your new software, again, is done with the help of AI rather than you writing it for many, many months, etc., etc. Even today, we experiment with AI system-like approach where multiple AI agents with MAGS approach, AI systems work together, and think of a meeting of different people in the room. What normally they do, they kind of discuss, then they agree, negotiate, they disagree, and then finally they came up with something in common. In the same way, when you design a new product, you can one person makes requirements, your system engineer, another person is responsible for cybersecurity, the third person is responsible for safety. Then they meet, and then they make your requirements set like non-conflicting and balanced. So what we did, we literally made the same thing with AI agents. So one AI agent represent your safety expert. Another AI agent represents your cybersecurity expert. And then the third one is your system engineer. And then they talk, and then they find a common ground, and then they provide you with the artifact of what they kind of were able to make together. And you know what? It's amazingly good.
Oh, fantastic. Sounds phenomenal. So just tell me about your vision, Sergey. So firstly, for Soda.Auto in the next, say, 5 years, and also say the industry as a whole, just share what people can expect and how you're seeing it.
I will possibly start with a second. So industry as a whole is making a shift from hardware defined to software defined. AI is jumping in as a huge assistance and actually a huge leading force in the future, automating most of the operations. And that leads to more efficiency, better products, and better safety actually and security for all of us. So that's the transformation the industry is going through. With Soda, what we do is we're helping this transformation to happen. We're pioneering some of these technologies, and our ultimate vision is to make vehicles possible to be made with just a few clicks. Wow. That's our mission. That's what we are working on.
Totally bin the factory. Fantastic. That'd be phenomenal. So is there anything else, Sergey, you can share to people that are interested in the technology, interested in the future, that would help them learn a bit more about this exciting space?
Well, I would say that the key thing is that so many new things are possible today with the revolution of AI, with digital twins, and actually with their fusion, because with this smarter agents which learn the object and can suggest the changes of an object, you eventually come to a point where AI can generate so much. So with these technologies in place, everything which wasn't possible before becomes possible. So let's be creative. Let's try to imagine and unleash our imagination, and let's apply the latest technology to achieve all of that. Everything is possible today.
Fantastic. And how can people get hold of you, Sergey?
Could you say again?
How can people get hold of you if there's like someone that's looking to get this automotive technology to help them? How can they get hold of you to find out more?
Absolutely. So there is our website, Soda.Auto, and also my personal LinkedIn page, Sergey Malygin. You can quickly find me, and I'm super open to all the conversations around the space, and everybody who wants to learn something about what we do, be a partner to us or be a customer to us, you are more than welcome to join me and my team. We are super passionate and are ready to help to everybody.
Let's see if that's Soda.Auto. So that's SODA.AUTO.
Exactly.
Excellent. Okay. Sergey, it's been an inspiring conversation. It's a very exciting technology. It's all very new. It's got AI at the center of it, and we're really looking forward to seeing where this space goes. And thank you for sharing your insights today, because I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this is going to really enjoy it and let them know what the possibilities are. Thank you very much, Sergey.
Thank you very much for having me, Jamie. Have a great day, and thank you, everybody.
Take care.